20 years from now, I'm either going to be a swole surgeon or I'm going to be some guy sitting at a desk or whatever, you know, like, am I going to live my dream or am I going to sit there and watch time pass by? Time's gonna pass. Make your dreams happen. I was born in Nebraska. We moved around a lot. My stepdad was a welder, so we were all over the country. I'm pretty sure I've lived in around 15 different houses, locations, cities. Lived I think 4 or 5 different states. Moved to Texas in '06. You know, did a lot of made it kind of difficult having friends and stuff. You know, you never got the same people, so it's hard to have that rapport and that connection with people. So it's been a lot of, you know, always having to be the outcast, always being the quiet kid, and you know, I've been bigger my whole life. So not only am I the new kid, I'm also the fat kid. So you know, it definitely presented a lot of issues and you know, mental struggles growing up. So it definitely kind of helped mold who I am, I guess you could say. Food has always been my solace. It's always been my go-to, I guess, whenever times are tough or whenever I'm just bored or whatever it is. Very, very emotional eater. So it's actually crazy. I did like powerlifting and stuff in high school, and they just use like little, you know, the scales you get at Walmart, you know, whatever, just the little scales for your meats. Well, obviously I was super heavyweight. I think going into high school, I was 300 pounds, and I'm pretty sure my junior year I hit like 415. In a locker room, you've got all these guys, all these athletes, all these, you know, big, swole, strong people. It's intimidating for a big old chubby guy like me. And so you're all sitting there in your underwear, and you have to go get on the scale in front of all these people, all these coaches. And every time, mine would say E. It'd say error. It just would never read. They'd only go up to 300, 350, whatever it was. And so I never actually like knew what I weighed until one of them is when I saw it said 412. So that was kind of like, oh man, this isn't cool, you know, like, but it didn't click yet. It just sent me more into like a depressive state, and it sent me more into eating it away because I was the funny kid, you know. I was the kid that I owned my fatness. I made jokes about it so other people couldn't, like, you know, I was the fun guy to be around, I guess. And so I just used it, you know, as that. Like, I'm gonna eat because people think it's funny. Like, I'm gonna have 3-4 plates of food because everybody's laughing, like, dang, when are you gonna quit eating? You know. So I'm feeding more and more into it, and meanwhile just digging myself further and further in. The actual breaking point, I was 2 years out of high school, I think, and I hadn't even looked at a scale in forever because you can't buy those at Walmart. I had to order scales from like Destination XL and stuff like that. So I was 2 or 3 years out of high school. I think it was around 2015, 2016. I was hauling off some scrap iron to like a junkyard. And they had the big industrial scales where you put all your metal on and they weigh everything. And I was like, hey man, do you mind if I get on that? Like, do you mind if I weigh? And he was like, kind of laughed at me. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, no, for real, I haven't weighed in years. Like, I can't find a scale that'll go up heavy enough. And he was like, yeah, sure, like, come on. And so he's like swept it off and everything. I stepped on it and I was almost 500 pounds. Like, you know, I am 21 years old and I'm almost at a quarter ton. Like, that's crazy. Growing up, my mom always told me, like, if you don't quit eating, if you don't quit doing this, you know, you're going to hit 500 pounds. And I was like, no, that only happens on the TV shows. Like, you know, I'm not going to hit 500. And here I was, like, you know, at 476 pounds, I'm less than 25 pounds away. Honestly, less than 6 months away, probably, at the way I was going from being a quarter of a ton. And, you know, the outlook on life is not very good whenever that's your weight. You know, you're sitting here. I didn't have any blood pressure or, you know, diabetes or any problems like that, but, you know, it's only a matter of time. Like, you know, you're putting your body through that. You're eating 3-4 cheeseburgers a meal, you know, and then 2 hours later you're hungry again. You're drinking a 12-pack of soda a day. Like, it's you only have so little life to live, and I was just shortening it more and more every second. it was just kind of that realization, like, man, I'm going to make my mom right. Like, I'm really about to hit 500 pounds, or I'm not going to live to see 40. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, it just kind of clicks. Like, I've got to make a change, or I'm not going to, you know, live to see any of my dreams accomplished. And, I mean, honestly, at that weight, at that size, at that health, you know, you obviously don't have too much dreams, or you're not too passionate about your dreams if you're not willing to get up and work and make a change so you can make it happen. So it was just kind of, you know, that sparked it. Like, all right, I got to go. Like, it's time to do this. It's time to make it happen. I would always follow, you know, because my powerlifting, I love seeing strong people. I love seeing, you know, the muscular. I love seeing the abs, the six packs, like the definition. Like, I loved it. So I followed a lot of those people, and I'm sitting here watching, you know, and all of them, everybody, some plain, like, white, don't actually know what meat it is, but I'm pretty sure it's chicken, and broccoli. Like, that's your go-to, right? That must be the one. So being that I had a little bit of powerlifting history, and, you know, I did play football for a couple years, so I had an idea of how to lift weights. I had an idea of how to work out and what to do. It was just, you know, like, where do I start? Do I jump in and do I run and try and lose some weight and then do the muscle? Do I start lifting and running? Do I lift only? What do I do? Because at my size, I was known as, you know, like the ox type person. Like, I was the strong guy. I was the guy that if you needed something moved or picked up, hey, let's go get Ethan. Let's bring Ethan in. And so I don't want to just run my life away until I'm just this tiny, frail little person that now I can run and I'm skinny, but, you know, I have no strength. So I wanted that big frame still, which I don't think I'll ever get rid of a big frame. I think that's just ingrained in me now. But so it was, you know, trying to figure out, like, do I jump straight in and lift weights? Do I, you know, what do I do? Luckily, a friend of mine, he was ex-Marine, and he was kind of, you know, in the workout scene. He kind of got some stuff going, and so I talked to him a little bit, and I ended up buying a workout plan from him just to kind of give me an idea. And honestly, now, like, I'll still go back to that same exact workout plan just because I've had it for like 3 years now. And if I'm bored, if I'm just feeling like a good, like, nostalgic pump or whatever, like, I just want to go back, like, I'll go get that same workout in. And so yeah, I mean, it was a lot of chicken and broccoli, and a lot of sitting there reading his workout plan in the gym, being that guy, like, over here typing in YouTube videos. How do I do this? Like, you know, what is the Arnold? Like, how do you do the Arnold press? Like, you know, so I'm over here, like, Googling stuff, trying to figure this out. And then people be like, man, why are you always on your phone? I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just texting or whatever, because I was embarrassed to tell them, like, I don't know what this lift is. I don't know how to do it. I still do it to this day. Like, yeah, I'm where I am now. And there's sometimes I'll see a workout on a new plan or something. I'm like, what is that? Like, you know, I got to Google it. I don't think my body bends that way. Some stuff, man, it can be a little intimidating for sure. But, like, I don't know. I've gotten to where now I love it. I love getting outside of that comfort zone and just, you know, really going for it. I put a picture. I still have the picture. One of the most embarrassing pictures of me. I put it as my wallpaper on my phone. And of course, that's embarrassing. Like, you know, like, you pull your phone out. So, you know, you're talking to some female or something. Like, you're talking, like, hey, let me get your number. You pull it out, and it's like, oh, yeah. Like, because I didn't have a shirt on. Like, I'm just sitting here, you know, taking a little mirror shot. But I wanted to see that embarrassment. Like, I wanted to see what I looked like. I wanted to look myself in the face every time I pulled my phone out. And I wanted to see, you know, what I was working against or what I was working for. Because, you know, our minds, we're our own enemies. Like, you know, the body can go so much farther than, the brain will let it, essentially. And so I'm too tired. My body can't go on any farther. Yeah, it can. Your body can. You know, it's your brain. So I wanted to see that. I wanted to train my brain, like, look, this is what you don't want to look like anymore. Keep grinding. Like, keep working. And so, you know, it was a lot of that. Podcasts weren't as big, or I wasn't big into podcasts back then. It was a lot of, like, YouTube videos, like motivational stuff, listen, like Tony Robbins, stuff like that. Just listening to that kind of betterment, I guess. Motivational type speaking, like being able to take control of your mind and make things happen. That was a lot of my motivation. And even to this day, like there'll be days I wake up, and if I wake up and I feel down or I feel depressed or I feel like I don't want to work out or I don't want to go to school or I don't want to meal prep or I don't want to go to work, like immediately I'm putting on podcasts. Like I got to get in some kind of mental game that's something that's going to pump me up, because like I'm not going to let my mind get in that down, depressed, negative state and revert back. Like, I have days like I'm far from perfect. Like I have days that I'm just like, nope, like, not happening. But it's a lot of, just not letting your mind win. If you wake up and you have those days, like, I'm not doing anything today. No, like, put some music on, put a podcast on, put some kind of motivational speaker on. I love, my biggest thing now is why waste time trying to learn when you can learn from people that have been through what you've already been through. Or, like you can learn from them. They're going through, or they've been through what you're going through, and they made it out. They're better for it. Why not take their insight and look at the way they did it and see what you can apply from that to your own mindset? So instead of me sitting here struggling, being down, okay, well, this guy had a bad day. Now he's traveling across the world telling people how to not have bad days. He must know what he's doing, so let me listen to him. And just kind of adapting that mindset. And I don't listen to just one person, because I don't want to just adapt one mindset. Like, I don't want to just listen to this guy and think like this guy, talk like this guy, speak like this guy. I want to listen to 10 different people. That way I'm pulling something from all of them and I can incorporate it into me, and I can make that who I am and add my own stuff to it. I haven't got to that. I'm like working on it, and I'm wanting to fully push for that like shredded physique. Like I've come this far. Like I want to see abs. I want the vascularity. I want the definition. Now, you don't come this far and I'm okay with the dad bod. Like I'm all right being fluffy like that. Like I want to, at least one time in my life, I at least want to have abs. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a lot of just, surrounding myself with it whenever, like, going out. I haven't reached that level of, oh, we're going out to eat, let me take my, chicken and broccoli with me and eat while we're sitting there. Mm-hmm. I haven't reached that level yet. A buddy of mine, he's preparing for a competition, and every day he's got his stuff. His kids are over here eating pizza, and he's just sitting here on his plane, same old. And so that's been my biggest thing is, just really not allowing myself that way out, I guess. Like, if I do go out to eat, I'll make sure that I can get something that fits my macros, or I'll make sure that I can get something that will work for me and what I'm wanting to achieve or what I'm working on. If I'm eating heavy protein, adding muscle at that time, then, I'll go for that. If I'm no carbs, then fajitas. Like, fajitas, no fixins, no tortillas, nothing, just eat the meat. So it's definitely, you can find something that fits at all times, like, pretty much anywhere. And if you can't if you're going somewhere that you can't, like if you're going out for pizza, you probably shouldn't be going out for pizza if you're trying to lose weight regardless. There's really nothing that can be found at a pizza restaurant to help you out, but at the salad bar, I guess. Yeah, it's just, definitely trying to maintain that, I don't know, that motivation, that drive. Like, like I say, if you're feeling less than motivated that day, or if you're feeling down in the dumps that day, just surround yourself with positivity. Like, I find it a lot of times, everybody's different, I know, but I find a lot of times that whenever I'm down, I'll go look at the bodybuilders' pages. Like, I'll go look at the people that have the physique I want. I'll go look at their pages, or I'll watch their workouts and stuff like that. And then I know some people, a good friend of mine, whenever they're feeling that, they can't do that because that makes them depressed because they feel like they're never going to get there. So I guess it varies person to person, If you're watching this and you realize, say you're having a bad day, and so you want to go look at somebody's page, and then all of a sudden you start feeling down, don't look at that page no more. Like, don't go look at it. Unfollow them even. Like, whatever it is. Don't put yourself in it. There's nothing wrong with, if you are that person that gets motivation from looking at where you want to be, by all means do it. Surround yourself in it, bury yourself in it. But if you're going to be down in the dumps, like, oh, I'm never going to get there, or if you're too critical of yourself, I should have been there already. Like, I've been doing this, I've been eating right, and I've only lost 3 pounds in, 3 weeks. Well, don't surround yourself in that. If that's not the case, look at it. Look, I lost 3 pounds. Like, you know what? 3 weeks ago, I was 3 pounds heavier. Now I'm 3 pounds closer to where I want to be. Like, it's all about mindset. You can morph anything into the thought that you want it to be. It's all about, don't look at it like, I do this at work still. Like, somebody will be like, oh my God, we still got 6 hours to go. And I'm like, we already went through 6 hours. Like, like half full, half empty. Like, when you're looking at it, oh, we got 6 hours. I'm like, hey, we already made it through 6 hours. Like, life's good. Yeah. Like, you can literally hype yourself up by looking at it that way. You can make your mindset what you want it to be at all times. Like, you're never locked into one thought or one, vision. Like, you can always change. There's nothing cemented in. Like, you can always make your life what you want to make it. You just got to want it, and you got to be willing to fight your head every day to stay in that mindset. It's been a lot. It's kind of been the same. I'm going surgery. Okay, going to be a doctor. That's one thing for somebody. Like, somebody sees that and they're like, wow, you're just really shooting for the stars. Okay, then it's like, well, I'm going to be a surgeon. And they're like, wow, you're not a doctor, not what you want. Now you want surgery. So now it's even more competitive. That's even harder to get into. And then they're like, well, what specialty? Cardiothoracics. That's literally the number 2 most competitive, hardest to get in, most difficult, specialty. And I will do it. I said something the other day on Instagram, don't take that as arrogance. I'm by no means arrogant by saying I will be a cardiothoracic surgeon. I like speaking things into action. Like, I like to say it. I'm going to say, I will be cardiothoracics. I know that every year they only take like 80 a year out of training. You only get like 80 spots. You're looking at one of 80. Like, I'm not arrogant for saying that. I don't take that statement lightly by any means. I know what it means to say that, and I say it in a very public way. Everybody that knows me, everybody that follows me on Instagram, everybody, whatever, they know that's what I'm going for. It's plastered right in my bio because I want people to know, like, I'm not going to just go change my bio one day because I had a hard day in class and say, no, never mind, I'll just go for whatever I can get into. Nope, going for it. I was almost 500 pounds. I'm going to have abs. Like, I'm going to do it, That was my thing. Like, I will get down. I would look, what's his name? I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. Thor, from Game of Thrones, y'all know? No? Bjornsson. Yeah, that one. Bjornsson, is that it? Yeah. That dude is one of, like, my idols. Like, I will one day meet him. That's like a goal. Like, if we can get this to him, that would be great. It has been everything. Like, I was 500 pounds looking. I was like, he's like 6'8", 6'9", something like that. Like, he's ridiculously tall. So I'm not quite that tall. But, he is a mountain in every sense of the word. And I was like, I'm going to go for that. Like, I can do that. I might need, 1,000 grams of protein a day to even come close to looking like one of his biceps. But, I'm going to get there. And now, obviously, I still want that. Like, it hasn't been, okay, well, I just want to get skinny. And now I'm, skinny, I guess, fluffy. But so now that I'm here, I want abs. No, I was huge. I wanted abs. Now I'm, 200 pounds closer to getting abs. Like, it's not go to this, then this, then this. And there's nothing wrong. I do set a lot of mini goals, but the grand goal has always been look good in dress clothes. The grand scheme is look good without a shirt, working on getting there. But it's just one of those things, like, yes, it's okay to say, okay, I'm going to lose the first 20 pounds. Like, I did that. I hit that first 20. It's like, all right, dope. Now I'm going to hit 40. Cool. Now I'm going to hit 60. All right. I'm not even going to aim for 80. I'm hitting 100 now. And, so you let those small wins feed you, but overall, you've got to have that goal in your mind of what you want in the grand scheme of things. You don't just float around aimlessly saying, I'm going to live my life losing 20 pounds at a time. I'm going to lose 20 pounds to get me closer to my abs. I'm going to lose 20 pounds to becoming the real life Thor. Like, that's me. Like, that's the goal. That's what I'm shooting for. That's where I'm going to be. And it's just been one of those things. Yes, it's adapted a little bit, and the route that I've taken has differed a little bit. But it's 100% that's where I'm going to be. Definitely find what it is that motivates you. You've got to have that purpose. You've got to have that thing to look at. You've got to have, something to go to, whether it be podcasts, whether it be motivational speeches, speakers to listen to, TED Talks. I love TED Talks. That's goal. Get on TED Talk for sure. Y'all watch out. I just surround myself, definitely surround yourself with people and, ideas that are going to get you to where you want to be. Look for people that will motivate you. Look for people that whenever you're having a rough day, they don't say, let's go get pizza or let's go have a drink. Look for somebody that says, you're having a rough day, let's hit the gym. There's nothing better. Like scientifically, it even breaks down. You release endorphins. You get scientifically high off of a workout. Like it 100%, that was the best cure. I was on antidepressants. At my heaviest weight, I was on antidepressants for 3 weeks. 3 months, sorry. And I hated the way they made me feel. I hated it. So I quit taking them, and I felt better off of them because in the course of the time I was on them, I had started working out. And I felt better after I got off of them. And by the way, I'm not saying quit taking your medications. Definitely talk to a doctor first. I probably should have, but I felt better. Like my overall sense of being, my happiness, my mood, I wasn't, high to low, high to low, high to low. And if I'd start getting lower, I'd start creeping down that way, hit the gym. If I start creeping down that way, listen to some motivational stuff. Listen, put some loud music on, whatever. Like, I love music. It's hard. Sometimes I will say it's hard to turn on a podcast instead of music. I love music. I can get down. Like, that's me. But at the same time, I know that, listening to whatever, rap song isn't going to get me closer to where I want to be. Yeah, it's fun to celebrate. You're having a good time. But it's not going to get me there. It's not going to push me. And it's not going to give me that mindset. It's not going to give me it's not going to fuel me. It's not going to give me that thought motivation. It may make me want to work a little more hours or whatever, so I can get that Rolex. But it's not going to make me skinnier. It's not going to keep me motivated and keep me happy. So definitely, take a picture. Take some embarrassing, vulnerable picture. Make it your wallpaper. If you're too embarrassed to make it your wallpaper, put it, easily accessible. Put it on your favorites. Put it in a text message to yourself. Text it to yourself that way. It's always there. Lock it on your phone. You always have it. Put it in a note with a couple motivational. My notes, every one of my notes is like filled with something. Like I'll hear a quote or something and I'll go type it down. Like I'll listen to it over and over and over again. Like I'll rewind it so I make sure I get it, and I'm just full of it. Because I like reading that stuff. Whenever I get down, I want to see words and what I'm going through. I just try and find somebody that's been through what I've been through or dealt with what I've dealt with and learn from them, because they've made it through. They're still successful. They've made it through, or they're on their way to being successful. You can learn something from anybody, especially if they've been in your situation before. I definitely just, whenever you feel like you're down, whenever you feel like giving up, don't. Time's gonna pass. That's my thing. Everybody, why are you going to be a surgeon? I'm gonna spend 20 years between undergrad, med school, and training. I'm looking at 20 years before I'm an attending surgeon. 20 years from now, I'm either gonna be a swole surgeon or I'm gonna be some guy sitting at a desk or whatever, am I gonna live my dream or am I gonna sit there and watch time pass by? Time's gonna pass. Make your dreams happen, 100%.